I'm on vacation, but I'll explain this maybe instead of in words as a video. I'll explain this. If you create a fishless environment for 78 days, okay, and then once you start putting new fish in, if one of those new fish are sick, all your fish die, right? What do you do? Another 78 days? Tell me if that makes any sense. That makes no sense. So you get a UV aqua, which is a real UV sterilizer. And then you get maybe a CJ pump, right? At the perfect wattage for the UV aqua. And you got to put the perfect gallons per hour or the CJ pump. Because if it's too fast, you won't sterilize disease. If it's too slow, you're not going to keep up with the disease populating, right? This is all my research that you could just figure out by going on BRS. They could explain it to you. They say 95% of tanks have disease in them. Okay, so the 5% is in a laboratory environment. Okay, you're going to have that? No, you're not going to have that. And let's say you do have that, and you put one sick fish in your tank, and then he kills all your other fish. So let's say you have 15 fish in your tank. You put one in there, now you lost 16 fish. Okay, if you have UV aqua, perfect wattage, perfect gallons per hour, designated CJ pump, and let's say you never went fishless, who cares? Because your free-floating disease is stabilized. All your fish are alive, and they look healthy and happy. Okay, now you add a sick fish. Even though I don't want you to, but let's say for some reason you make a mistake and you had a sick fish and you got 15 fish in the tank. That 16th fish can kill all of your fish. Because even if they were happy and healthy, they brought disease into the tank, and there's nothing sterilizing the free-floating disease like a UV aqua. So you can potentially kill maybe 12 to all 16 of your fish. BRS's way to do it is you put the UV aqua at the perfect wattage and gallons per hour, and if you put a sick fish in, worst case scenario, that fish dies. None of the other fish are going to get it because all free-floating disease is sterilized. This is, I don't want to say it's common sense. I'm sorry. It's just I read so much and I act like an idiot, maybe. I don't mean to be mean to people. It's not their fault they don't read as much as I do, but I read and I check things out. So what do you want, a UV aqua, perfect gallons per hour, instead of buying all those chemicals, taking your fish out, you buy them with salt. You want to do all this and then you can still get disease and kill all your fish? Like, what do you want? Spend the money, get a UV aqua, and you know what? If a fish dies, it's one fish. It's the one sick fish that you added. And that's it. But if you don't get a UV sterilizer at the perfect gallons per hour, perfect wattage, you could kill all your fish all over again. I don't care how many times you want to go. 78 days fishless. 78 days fishless. What are you going to add a coral? And then all of a sudden you got disease. Somehow it's on a coral. 78 days fishless, and you lost the 16 fish anyway. Or half of them, because they don't want to be in a 10-gallon tank on the copper. My way, you don't have to buy copper, extra salt. You don't have to buy anything. Just buy UV aqua and buy a designated return pump and set it at the perfect gallons per hour. That's it. With my tank, I have a 25-watt UV aqua. I have a CJ 3.0. And with my tank, they say between 400 and 800 gallons per hour, it sterilizes disease. So I have it set at 550 gallons per hour. And you know what? The past 5.5, 6 months, all my fish are angry and happy. It doesn't matter, no matter how much fighting goes on. But in December, 8 of my 12 fish died. Why? I didn't have a UV aqua. And I introduced disease. And that's it. It's common sense. I'm sorry it's not common sense to you, but it will be common sense to you after you listen to my video or you go on BRS and listen to what they say. To have a perfect environment, it has to be a laboratory environment with no disease. It's almost impossible, and you're always going to introduce it. You're just going to, and you can't just keep going fishless. It's crazy. Thank you. Enjoy your day.